Welcome back to the GSTL with Wolf and Caldor with MVP and FXOpen. An epic match so far. Score 3-2. This is our 6th match. And I gotta say, the choice of Oz is the choice I would have made. A great choice to bring him out here. We'll see what PvP build he's gonna bring. The map, I kept it hidden, but now you all know it is dual sight.
He's just such a great player when it comes down to his PvP. His mirror matchup is just extraordinary, and we will see if Finale is up to the challenge. He was already able to defeat Lenok. Maybe he's going to surprise us all and takes down Oz as well. But I have to say that in this matchup, the advantage definitely goes to Oz.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously he's got a lot more experience. We could see, though, a lot of potential in Finale's play there. Player who has been around quite some time, just never been able to really make a big splash. He was able to take out Lenok there, so you will see the map is loading. Caldor, I can't wait any longer. We gotta skip the loading screen. We gotta jump into this game.
This is going to be awesome. PvP, we have Finale against Oz. It is on. MVP, we have their player in the red color. Protoss player was able to defeat Lenok. It is
MVP, Pennant.
That's right. Made a very, very good appearance in his first game. Now he is up against another Codas player. He is up against the best PvP player that we've seen in quite a while. It is
FXOpen.
It would actually be really funny if Oz would able to take the game now. The next player for MVP would be Genius.
That would be interesting. Obviously, Genius has shown his stuff in PvP. He was able to defeat MC. Now we see Oz checking for proxies, sends his probe down, and MVP, our MVP player Finale, is going to be checking a little bit. Now, Oz likes to make his gateway on 11, a little bit earlier than his opponents. In this case, he's made it on 12. Oz really likes this 11 gateway Zealot pressure build on this map, and I'm a little bit surprised he's not going to do it. This is something we've seen him do almost every single time he PvPs on this map, is to chrono out a Zealot and pressure his opponent, and that may be something that his opponent expects, but it looks like Oz is actually going to be going for a very normal gateway time, getting his gas at 14 as well.
I really love the proxy scouting for Finale, by the way. We've seen a lot of PvPs on dual side, and quite often we see one of the players go for some kind of proxy gate play. So this time we have MVP player, we have Finale with a very nice scouting. He just makes sure that there are no proxies whatsoever. And well, this is going to come down to micro, and this is the one reason why I really think that Protoss versus Protoss is one of the best mirror matchups to watch. It's actually I think my favorite mirror matchup to watch, because
Absolutely.
It just evolves around the unit micro, and being a former Warcraft 3 caster, I really love those micro battles. Those really intensive micro battles.
It's like the micro battles from Warcraft 3, but also has this crazy mind game in it where it's like, what strategy are you going to do? A second gas has been taken by Finale. And meanwhile, it looks like just a 3-stalker rush type build coming out of Oz. Of course, he's making actually a Zealot first, so that's kind of the variation here. He's not going for that standard 3-stalker rush Zealot, and then probably Stalkers will be chrono boosted out afterwards. He has a lot of chrono energy stacked up here, though, and his opponent will see this chrono boost on the warp gate. Oz maybe trying to pull a 4-gate here. He has made a 3rd pylon, though, and that is going to signify to his opponent he's not 4-gating most likely. Probe does get out without the Stalker. But now that he's out, will Oz chrono boost warp gate research again?
He still has a lot of energy on this Nexus.
Yeah, he's got 68 energy, and he is not chrono boosting his warp gate research. He'll be chrono boosting out 2 more Stalkers, so very sneaky by Oz, keeping his opponent guessing. We may see Oz try to expand off of these 2 gateways. That's the only build I can really see fitting into what Oz has done here, because his second gas is so late.
We have also Finale now just saving up some money and investing it into additional production buildings now. The second gateway and the 3rd is coming up. We have 23 to 21 harvesters, and he cut pro production. Finale cut pro production so far.
He cut it. I think he's scared. He saw Oz was 4-gating perhaps, and he was like, alright, I gotta play this safe. He gets a sentry out ASAP. He did chrono boost on his warp gate one more time. He's cut probe protection for a minute. He's adding those gateways in. He did stop that probe there, and that may make him feel like, okay, I've stopped this, but it's actually just not a 4-gate, it's just 2 gateways, and Oz is chrono boosting out probes right now, despite the fact he's even already got a probe lead. I like this pressure move by Oz. He's going to bait out a force field. Oh, the force field is missed slightly. The Stalkers look like it. Not quite going to get up there, though.
I really like how Finale is now controlling his units. He immediately pulled the one zealot back that he had in order to save it, because if he would have just controlled it from one unit group, he would have lost the zealot, but now he saved the unit. And we have the expansion for Oz. And MVP Finale, he spots it. He's fully aware of the expansion attempt of Oz and is now just transitioning into a robotics.
Yeah, like I said, with that late gas, it just makes sense that Oz would be trying to go for an expand. The robotics goes down now for both players, slightly ahead for Finale. This Stalker on the Watchtower not controlled very quickly from Oz. He's going to take a lot of hits on it. Will not likely lose it, but it's going to be very close to death. Definitely. I think Oz will be able to hold this, though.
Oz is now a small disadvantage when he comes down to the stock account, 4-2-3. He needs to be careful, he's about to lose one of them, and there are 3 sentries. The pylon at the bottom is already done. Here comes Finale with his attack. Oz is still pulling back a little bit, losing the pylon, and he will have to cancel this expansion. There it is.
Great decision making by Oz. He did not recklessly attack. He did not just try to hold the Nexus. He waited. He was like, yeah, I guess so. And he had to cancel it. He just waited until like the last second there. Very calculated. Robotic support bay on the way for Finale. Looks like he does not want to expand. Oh, a terrible choice by Finale. He's lucky that only the Stalker was trapped there. He sent a lot of units up against 3 sentries. That was a bold move.
That was really, really close and way too bold in this situation. He's now getting Immortals and still waiting for the robotic support bay. In regards to the Harvest account, we have 28-32. Oz has a slight advantage. But now, he's on 1 base still, so oversaturated. Guess
what, Kelder? That Zealot scouted no robotic support base, so you know what that means? If Finale wants to, he can actually just force field this ramp forever and do whatever he wants. He knows, man. Oh, you have no robotic support base, you're not getting out of this base. Now Oz actually starts at Twilight, That's one way to get out of the base.
We already have the extended thermal lance upgrade now for MVP Finale as soon as he finished his robotic support bay. So additional gateways added for Oz, and he's still trapped in his main base.
Yeah, I don't like the positioning for Oz here, man. I think he's at a huge disadvantage in every possible way. He's getting a Warp Prism now to try to help get things out of his base. He could try to elevator down. That would be really scary. That would totally catch his opponent off guard.
Finale's backing off.
Finale backs off here, which I think is a weird choice. He's already scouted no robotic support bay. He has no reason to believe there's a Warp Prism out either. He even has a probe scouting around the top to spot for a Warp Prism of any kind.
He's really cautious now.
Yeah, really almost overly cautious. Right now the Immortal count is 2-1, 1 for Finale. And of course Oz has 2 he may put in the Warp Prism.
We have the first Colossal in production for Finale, and it looks like he is going to move to his natural. He's going to take a second very soon. He already has 380 minerals. There's the 400, and the Nexus is built for Finale right away. Oz about to halfway done with his blink, is adding a Nexus on his own.
His timing here is just so off, unfortunately. He doesn't have a timing window where he can punish this Nexus. His Nexus is already late, and his tech is late. The only thing he's about to have going for him is Blink, and that Blink is on a map that's not very good for Blink. It's okay for Blink, but he only has 1 observer. His opponent's got an observer waiting for that. He's even going to catch it.
Wow,
and
nice.
Oh man, that was the last chance Oz had to have some sort of advantage in this game. He is just going to have to sit back and play from behind at this point.
You are so right, and it is just really amazing to see how well Finale gets into this game. We've been talking about how great Oz is in his PvP, but after taking down Lenog, Finale just seems to be on a roll. He is in a decent position, in a very good position indeed against Oz now.
Oz almost held the Nexus. He almost did. If he had been able to just hold the Nexus, if he had 1 more round of Warpins, he would have been okay. The worker count now is 39-27, hugely in Oz's favor, so he's going to get a much larger economic boost from this Nexus, but that will probably not be enough considering that there is a 3rd Colossus on the way. He already has range. He's got a strong Zealot count, even has 2 Immortals to mix in here. Oz is going to try to blink into the main by the looks of things, but
if he had enough time to just put some pressure on to delay the push of his opponent, then he would have this huge economy going for him. But as you already said, there is the 3rd Colossus coming up, and if Finale just attacks and chooses a good spot to do so, he will be in a position where he can deal way too much damage for Oz to handle.
There's not enough here for Oz. He's got 1 small Stalker force. He's going to lose some of these Stalkers though for sure. A much worse trade for Oz. Oh man, he's trying to do anything he can here. He's so desperate, targeting down probes now to try to get an advantage. Meanwhile, he's actually at the natural killing some probes.
I really like though what Oz just did. He went to the cliff, but he didn't blink down. He saw that his opponent was retreating because he had to defend his expansion, and then he just blinked in again.
Oh my god.
And now he's picking off Harvester after Harvester.
Yeah, man, 13 to 46, and I did not expect Finale to fall apart at the seams to double Stalker harassment like that.
And he could have easily
now. Yeah, he could have easily just split his units into 2 groups and dealt with both groups of Stalkers, but instead he dealt with neither.
Finale has to all in.
I think Finale will still kill Oz, so to be perfectly honest with you, Caldor, I think he's just going to destroy him.
Oh, he's trying to get in with the Stalkers from behind. He's trying to pick off his opponent's units. There are the force fields, but from behind the Stalkers trying to blink in. We can't see it on the screen right now on the minimap. Visible though, he's even pulling his probes. Finale is all-inning Oz as he realized that he can't take this game if he relies on his economy. And Oz might just die to this push. The robotics facility is already gone. And what can Oz do? He can't go for the base race.
He just barely does not have a lead in army supply, and part of the problem here for Oz is that even though he's very close in army supply, his opponent's composition is much stronger.
Yeah, it is. He has the Colossi, and Oz doesn't have a single Colossi just yet. So what exactly can he do? He has an army that's a little bit more mobile.
He's still mining, and that may give him a resource lead for helping in the base trade, and he has Blink. Now in a base trade, Blink is exactly what you want to have.
You're actually right. I completely forgot about the Blink when I talked about the base race scenario. So in terms of the army supply and the composition, Oz is in a really bad position. He can't take his opponent's army head on. But with Blink, he has a better mobility and might be able to just use this mobility to take down his opponent's buildings. This is going to be a very, very interesting finish.
Absolutely, man. With the Blink, that is so crucial. Let me give you guys the unit count. All right, for Finale, 13 probes, 7 zealots, 2 immortals, 3 colossi. You're looking at them now, 6 stalkers and 2 sentries. No Blink, no attack upgrades. Oz at 16 probes, 1 observer, which is very key, 3 zealots and immortal, 20 stalkers with Blink, a warp prism, which can be used for micro and also warp ends. Well, he doesn't have any gateways, but he's still got 2 gates. He's probably not going to be able to use those. And 3 sentries, and the resources for Oz, he's going to make a Nexus. That is a bold choice because that means he's got 1 central location to defend against an army that's likely better than his. Oh my god! He could target this Nexus, Caldor! If he sees it, he can target it! And that
he's trying to target it down. Is he going to blink with half his army? No, he blinks away with everything. This ending of this game is going to be so insane.
If he got the Nexus, he would have won the game if he didn't cancel.
That.
Yeah, he has no idea. He has no idea. Right now the supply is 75 for Oz. There is a pylon.
There is a pylon at the left side of the map, ladies and gentlemen. So even if he would have targeted down the Nexus, he would have not won just yet. But of course, right now we don't have any mining for either one of the players, and Finale doesn't have any minerals. Now the Nexus are about to finish, and the finish of this game is just insane now. This is ridiculous.
Well, the worker count's slightly better for Oz. His Nexus is a little bit behind. He does still have that mobile army with the Observer. The Warp Prism is going around, checking for pylons. He has not seen the pylon at the top left. He barely missed it with the Warp Prism. He's going to try to draw these forces out of position, maybe with the Warp Prism, damage the Nexus a little bit more.
He just can't get close. There are too many Colossi. 3 Colossi. That's something that you don't want to approach.
Oh, no!
Oh, that was really close.
That was scary.
Too
now,
close to come.
As far as infrastructure goes, both players are way in the red, but Oz way more so. 75 out of 18 to 69 out of 34. So he has a lot more pylons to make to be able to start reproducing units. And he still is going to be able to... I mean, without Colossi, he's going to be so far behind. He's got a lot of teching up to do to get any Colossi out.
Indeed, he has. This game is just insane. It was already weird in the beginning, but this is just the weirdest game that I've ever seen. They are just trading bases now.
Caldor, something else to note is that the mineral patches on the Nexus that Oz has chosen are almost mined out, whereas the patches on the new base of Finale, if he can just turtle here, he's going to have more resources. Oz may want to think about taking a second Nexus, and he's got to realize this.
He has to utilize this Warp Prism that we are seeing now. So if he's able to utilize the Warp Prism in order to get maybe behind the mineral line, pick off a couple of probes, this would be huge.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to do it here. He's got the Warp Prism to give vision so he can blink back up. He's going to attack at the front, draw the forces forward, and then
He should blink down, just pick off the... And where's the Warp Prism? He needs to pick up the
he
Stalker.
messed up. He left his Warp Prism, but he's flanking here, and all the Stalkers, well, all but one will escape. Oh ho ho!
Nice unit control, but at the same time I have to say that Oz could have done better if he used his Warp Prism in order to make this attack a little bit more dangerous.
Yeah, I completely agree. It looks like he is going to finally, just barely not run into the pylon at the top left. That's not too significant at this point since the Nexus and multiple structures have been added, but it would be good for him to find that pylon. As you can see, like I said, many more pylons need to be made for Oz. The pylons now for MVP is at 71 out of 74. He was able to remake the structures. The worker count very similar right now.
We have 14 to 16 now. Finally, Oz is not supply blocked anymore. The Warp Prism in the back trying to lure the Stalkers away. And still, Finale with this slight disadvantage that he does not have Blink.
Yeah, but again, remember, Oz does not have a lot of resources left. I'm clicking on these patches. Less than 500 resources on each patch. The highest patch at 380.
He needs a new base. He needs another Nexus.
He does absolutely need that Nexus. The Stalkers, he may be able to buy time with them to get that Nexus up, but buying time here means he's actually killing himself in a way. He's going up to 4 gateways. He knows since he has Blink, maybe I can add a ton of Stalkers in my mix and have that better composition, but I would rather see him make a Nexus at this point, and the probe for Finale does come in here and scout, oh, you didn't make another Nexus? All you need to do is turtle a little bit longer.
And the problem for Oz is also that if your opponent only has like 1, maybe 2 Colossi and you have Blink Stalkers, you can blink in, try to snipe them. But it's not only 2 Colossi, we have 3 of them, and we have 2 Immortals. The Immortals are so strong against the Stalkers, so he just can't afford to blink in. He is not going for it. Still trying to bait his opponent a bit, but Oz will not commit to an attack. He just can't. He cannot.
There are also not only those 2 Immortals, which do great, but also Zealots. If they're on top of Stalkers, he has 8 of them. They're going to do a lot of extra damage as well. And actually, another Observer will come out. He will be able to take out the Observer of Oz if Oz is not careful. And now he can even start Immortal production. He's about to be able to afford that. He's remaking a Robotic Support Bay. I kind of like that choice, but I would like to see him make an Immortal as well. That means that he can deal with these Stalkers even better than before.
Oz is now adding the robotics facility as well, but at the same time, still, he needs another base. He won't have mining for much longer because the patches in his main base are nearly gone now.
Yeah, he barely even has 400 minerals left to make any more units. He's going to attack here, trying to take out the robotic support bay. Boom! Forced to cancel, but he will lose his Observer as a result. Oh, and losing some Stalkers as well.
He kills the Observer of Finale. Very well done. At least he traded Observers in this situation.
At the top left, there is a probe. It looks like it's preparing to remake another base for Oz.
Yeah,
and there's nothing to swap for it.
And we have the Twilight Council going down for Finale. He wants to get Blink as well so that he can start to pressure his opponent.
I really feel like Oz should have gotten the Nexus up way earlier, because then he can't, his opponent would not be able to assault the Nexus without moving his entire army, and then Oz could use that Blink Stalker force, but instead he's not used it. The Nexus now goes down.
One of the worst decisions that Oz made in this game is building the Nexus in the main base of his opponent instead of just building it at the natural, something that Finale did. And now we have the Dark Shrine for Finale. He's trying to get cute, and he certainly can.
Absolutely.
He doesn't need Blink. I mean, Blink would be a nice choice, but at the same time, he doesn't have the Stalker count to actually take on his opponent's Stalkers, so going for the DTs makes kind of sense. He can get Archons as well.
Yeah, well, the DTs are a nice threat. The Stalkers can be made later. He can get Blink whenever he wants to. He knows his opponent's on a clock. As soon as he gets Blink, he should be able to take the game with just a decent Stalker count. Oz needs to be more careful with his Stalkers. He cannot afford to lose hit points like this.
The only advantage that Oz has right now that he can pressure his opponent on staying onto this one base. But as soon as the Dark Shrine goes up, there will be harassment because the pilot to the left side of the map has still not been spotted. So he can just warp in units to the left, send them over to his opponent's base. And if Oz doesn't have any units in position and no Observer as well.
No Observer, man.
And he doesn't have an Observer, then what is he supposed to do? He will lose so many probes.
Here comes the DTs. The Shrine is finishing. 2 DTs being warped in. Meanwhile,
nice.
the Stalkers are harassing over here.
Nice, taking down a lot of his opponent's units at the same time. Another pylon dies, but the DTs are on their way.
They have not been spotted yet. There's no Observer being started. He's not building anything in his robotics right now, but The DTs are going to kill a lot of pros. Meanwhile, though, Oz is mining from his natural, which is a fully saturated base. Here come the DTs.
Oz is getting the first Colossi and extended thermal lance. The DTs start to target the expansion, and he needs to chrono boost the Observer. Is it going to be there in time?
Oh man, it's hard to say.
This is going to be close.
This is going to be so close. The Observer is being chronoed. I think he will get it in time.
He attacks his own Zealots in order to damage the DTs. Oh my god, this is going to be so damn close. There comes the Observer, and Force Field save the Nexus. Here comes your...
Oh my god, 130 hit points left on the Nexus, and it looks like Finale has said now it's time for the grand finale. Oz needs to move his units here. He's got a second wave of Stalkers. He's going to capture the probes. The probes are actually running away now. He needs to hit these. Finale going all in here.
Once again,
indeed.
Oh my god, Oz, he doesn't have extended thermal lances yet. How many Colossi does he have? Only one. The second
he needs
one
to pull his probes. Oh no, he's pulling the probes to the main. The worst possible choice for Oz. Why would he do that? Now his probes are trapped. This is checkmate.
Oh god, here is Finale with his army and trying to battle his opponent's Stalkers. Also pay attention to the Stalkers. What is he doing?
Man.
He lost too many units already. Army supply 69 to 69.
Why would he try to hold the main? That doesn't even make sense. And now his probes are trapped in his main. He should have tried to run around in high pylons and trade again. I'm so surprised by this decision. There's no way his probes are getting out of there. I mean, that's his only plan. But if he tries to mineral walk, he'll stack up against the Colossi. He can't get out.
He's not getting another Colossi, canceling it. Colossus against Colossus, here we go! MVP Finale against FXOs!
Oz still doing quite well with his micro here against the Zealots. The supply is still similar, but I really feel like Oz has put himself into a bad position. And second Nexus is going to complete it as natural. Of course, that belongs to Finale now.
Which is a little bit...
Wow,
that's really weird. Why would you build this Why would you build the Nexus? In this situation, you can't be sure that you're going to win
his opponent should have, the smartest choice for Oz would have been to base trade. He didn't do that, so now he's like, well, okay, alright, I guess I'm going to go home and I'm going to cancel my Nexus.
MVP Finale wasted a huge amount of minerals just building the Nexus. Now he has to cancel it.
Oh,
a snipe!
Two Colossi get sniped, but so many Stalkers go down. I do not think it was worth it.
But now he actually has the leading Colossi wolf. He has two Colossi against one.
There's a DT in this mix as well, Caldor, so we got to keep that into consideration. Oz looks like he wants to fight now. I'm not sure if this is the right choice. There are still a lot of Zealots in that mix.
Oz doesn't have any mining. The mineral pads in his main base are gone. He can't build another Nexus. He has to fight. He has no other choice.
He absolutely has to. I thought, we were going to have a trade earlier. Looks like this is going to be the final confrontation. The Stalkers have utilized their blink ability. Probes taking damage!
In from behind. Is he going to snipe the Colossus again? He's trying to target down his opponent's Immortal. But now Oz is dropping in supply like crazy. Once again trying to snipe the Colossus. It's not gonna happen. Oz is going to lose this game. Finale takes down Leonov and then he defeats Oz as well. Wow! This guy is on a roll. GG!
Whoa! And you know what? I actually feel that the decision-making from Finale is almost perfect in every case. I think Oz choked, though. He had a lot more opportunities to utilize his Blink Stalkers. He should have taken a faster Nexus as natural. Should have blinked out and run his probes to the north when he was being attacked. And what a game in general. I feel Oz could have made some better choices, but Finale did not make any mistakes, man.
And I really like how flexible his mindset is. He was not just set on one particular idea. He adapted very well against every situation in the game, and he showed just such a great play. Finale is not... He took down Leonov and Oz, two of the key players of FXO.
He did. You saw Choya on the phone texting there. I think he might be texting FXO Bosch, texting Josh saying, I just don't know what to do at this point, man.
I will be home early.
I mean, he may be. The score now getting worse and worse for FXOpen. The score is now 4-2.
Someone has to step out now and take charge.
Who will be the final player?
Will we see Lucky now?
We might. Lucky's a smart choice, but can Lucky deal with the rest of the MVP team? I don't know. And there's so many good Zergs. Lucky cannot beat Dongrigu.
Yeah,
That's the thing. He can't beat Dongrigu. That will not happen. So, can they use Lucky? I think I would use Gumiho. Actually, I would use Gumiho here. That's what I would do. Gumiho can beat probably beat Finale and then can potentially beat Dongrygu. Obviously, we'll find out in Code S round of 4 if he can do that in an individual league, but I would like to see Gumiho here.
I think that Gumiho is definitely a better chance against Dongrygu, so I would send Lucky out now trying to deal with the Protoss player. As soon as he gets sniped, you hope that they will send out Dongrygu to take him down.
But it's 4-2, right?
Yeah,
isn't it 4-2? So
it's really bad for them.
He can only pick up. Well, there's only one player left. Am I correct? So I think
it's 4-2. You're actually right.
Yeah, Gumiho I think should be the choice.
Whoa.
I think that's the only choice they've got to make here.
You're perfectly right.
I think that's the only choice that can be made. They could pick Lucky, but I think Gumiho's the smarter, safer choice here.
I don't want to be Choya right now.
I don't want to be Choya either, man.
This is not an easy decision, ladies and gentlemen. This is just like, what are you going to do? So much on the line. And here's FXO. Oh, God. Who are they going to pick? And
it is Gumiho, the smartest choice Choya could make, I believe.
I think so, too.
Now, Gumiho is going to have to play Finale, and then if he beats Finale, he'll still have to beat 2 additional players, likely Genius and Dongrygu, so he's got a tough road ahead of him. Any mistakes, 1 loss, and FXOpen is out. They're out of lives, man. The Towel Terran is their last hope. The Towel's already set up in the booth. He is ready to go.
This is going to be just great. Gumiho now has to... he has such a hard road in front of him.
Indeed he does. I think he has the potential to do it. He is definitely a top player. Look, he has better win rates than any other player in the team league we have seen so far. Look at that. 50% is his lowest rate. He didn't play any last games. This is his first time being chosen last.
And it's just incredible. MVP with the lineup. And who would have thought in the beginning that the player stepping up and taking down 2 of the key players of FXO would be Finale?
I would not have seen that coming. The map choice for Gumiho is interestingly Belshir Beach. A decent map for Terran versus Protoss. He wants to get it out of the way so he doesn't have to face Dongrygu on this map. Smart choice by Choya to pick this map. Wow, I feel like the decisions by Choya have been really solid here.
Yeah, they have been. But in the end, the score is now in favor of MVP with 4-2-2. The next match is going to be a Terran versus Protoss. We'll see Finale. After he beat a Zerg player, after he beat a Protoss player, he is now up against a Terran. Will he be able to take down Gumiho as well?
We shall see.
Right now, for me, he's already the MVP of the game, of the team battle.
Oh man. The atmosphere here is tense.
Yeah, it is.
All the FXO fans are quiet. They're hoping. They've got their hands together, clapping, cheering, back at home, saying, Gumiho, you've got to do this.
The hope of FXO lasts on Gumiho's shoulders. We are going to start the match. We will be back in a few seconds with Gumiho against Finale.